For as long as I've been alive, Vancouver has been considered one of the most desirable cities in the world. With its breathtaking natural beauty, vibrant culture, and diverse community, it's no surprise that so many people dream of living here. But as housing prices continue to skyrocket, the cost of living becomes almost unbearable. Drug use and homelessness have risen through the roof, and infrastructure struggles to keep up with demand. People are starting to ask, is living in Vancouver actually worth it? While the city still offers plenty of perks, the downsides are becoming harder to ignore. That's why today we're going to take a deep dive into the real pros and cons of living in Vancouver to see if it's still worth calling home. One of the biggest reasons people are drawn to Vancouver is its incredible natural surroundings. There aren't many cities in the world where you can go from the ocean to the mountains in less than an hour. Whether you love hiking, skiing, biking, or just soaking in the views, Vancouver's outdoor lifestyle is second to none. The mild climate here also adds to the appeal, because unlike the rest of Canada, Vancouver doesn't get buried in snow during the winter. Sure, it rains a lot, but at least you're not dealing with negative 30 degrees Celsius temperatures for months on end. If you're someone who values an active lifestyle and wants easy access to nature, this city definitely has a lot going for it. Another thing that Vancouver does well is diversity. The city is home to people from all over the world, which brings a unique blend of cultures, traditions, and of course, food. The restaurant scene here is absolutely unreal. Whether you're into authentic Japanese sushi, incredible dim sum, or some of the best seafood in North America, Vancouver has it all. The cultural festivals, art scene, and live music also make it a great place to experience different perspectives and connect with people from different backgrounds. For professionals, Vancouver's becoming a major hub for tech and business. Companies like Amazon and Microsoft have set up shop here, and the city's become a thriving startup scene. A large number of the people that I work with either work or worked for Amazon or Microsoft, so I'm pretty familiar with that sort of work. The film industry is another huge employer, earning Vancouver the nickname Hollywood North. So if you're in one of these industries, Vancouver can be a great place to build your career. The economy is strong, and new developments continue to bring in high-paying jobs, which is one of the reasons that many people still see Vancouver as a land of opportunity. Now, let's talk about the reality check. The biggest downside to living in Vancouver, by far, is the cost of living. Vancouver is consistently ranked as one of the most expensive cities in North America and the most expensive city in Canada. Thinking about buying a home, and especially a detached home? I wish you luck. The average price for a detached house is well over $2 million, and even a tiny one-bedroom condo can easily go for $700,000 or more. If renting's your only option, you can expect to pay upwards of $2,500 a month for a small apartment in the city. The reality is that unless you're making a six-figure salary or already own property, you're probably struggling just to keep up with the cost of living here. But it's not just housing that's expensive. Everything from groceries to gas to dining out costs more in Vancouver than it does in other Canadian cities. It's not uncommon for people to feel like they're working just to survive, with little left over for savings or fun. Taxes in BC are also among the highest in the country, which just adds to the financial strain. Many residents are left wondering if the Vancouver lifestyle is really worth the price tag. Another major downside is the traffic and infrastructure. The public transit system is decent, but it hasn't fully kept up with the city's rapid growth. The SkyTrain's great if you live along one of the existing lines, but large areas of Metro Vancouver still lack proper transit connections. Buses can be unreliable and overcrowded, and if you drive, expect long commute times and expensive parking. The city's roadways weren't designed to handle this many cars, and with increasing congestion and bridge bottlenecks, getting around can be frustrating. And one thing I just want to touch back on is the parking, because if you're in Vancouver proper, parking is almost never free and it's very difficult to come by. So as someone who lives in a suburb of Vancouver and parking is easy to find and free pretty much everywhere you go, this is one of my biggest pet peeves. But I digress. Moving on. Safety and crime are also becoming growing concerns here. While Vancouver is still safer than many major cities, the increase in homelessness and drug-related crime, particularly in areas like the downtown east side, has made some people feel uneasy. Open drug use, break-ins, and property crime have become more common, and while efforts are being made to address these issues, the situation hasn't improved much in recent years. I definitely see this every time I'm heading into Vancouver, and especially through some of the streets like Hastings Street, where it used to be pretty condensed, where all the homelessness and drug use was, and has really spread out over the past number of years. I also feel like many of these homeless individuals are a little bit more aggressive than they were in the past, but again, that's just from my experience. Then there's the social aspect of Vancouver, often described as the Vancouver freeze. If you're new to the city, making friends can be tough here. People are generally polite, but not always open to forming new social connections. This can make Vancouver feel a little bit isolating, and especially for those moving from smaller, more community-driven cities. While there's plenty of social events and networking opportunities, breaking into established social circles takes some effort. This is definitely something that I've noticed here. It feels like different parts of Vancouver are maybe a little bit more laid back and a little bit more open, whereas others, I feel like it's very business focused. People are a little bit isolated, not necessarily as nice, and just kind of won't give you the time of day. And of course, we can't forget about the weather. While it's true that Vancouver doesn't have the brutal winters that the rest of Canada deals with, the trade-off is months of rain and gray skies. The city gets over 160 days of rain per year, and for some people, the constant gloom can take a serious toll on their mood. If you thrive on the sunshine and blue skies, Vancouver's rainy season might be a deal breaker. So what are people doing about it? Well, more and more Vancouver residents are choosing to leave the city and head to the suburbs where they can get more space for their money. Cities like Surrey, Langley, Abbotsford, and Maple Ridge have seen a huge influx of people looking for more affordable housing and a better quality of life. Surrey is becoming a major urban hub with new high-rises, business growth, and expanding transit options. And while it does carry a negative stigma, the majority of people that I talk to are really just talking about a few specific locations and don't fully understand the rest of the city. Langley, on the other hand, offers a mix of suburban convenience and a small town charm, with new developments and great schools attracting families. I see many people opting to just skip right past Surrey because of this negative connotation that they associate with it and going straight to Langley. However, I would definitely take all the things you hear with a grain of salt, because as somebody who was born and raised in Surrey and lived there for over 30 years, I think most people have it pretty wrong. But we won't get into that too much in this video. As for Abbotsford, it's perfect for those looking for affordability and a slower-paced lifestyle while still being within commuting distance to Vancouver. Maple Ridge is a dream for nature lovers, offering stunning mountain views, outdoor activities, and a more relaxed vibe. Although it is definitely a little bit more detached from the rest of the city, Maple Ridge does have the West Coast Express, which makes getting to Vancouver still not that difficult. With remote work becoming more common, many people no longer need to live in Vancouver to work in Vancouver. That's made the decision to leave even easier for those who want more space, lower costs, and a better quality of life. So is Vancouver actually worth it? Well, it really depends on your priorities. If you love outdoor adventures, enjoy cultural diversity, and can afford the high cost of living, Vancouver still has plenty to offer. But if financial security, affordability, and an easy commute are high on your list, you might find that the challenges of Vancouver outweigh the benefits. Something I'll also note is that almost everyone I talk to that lives in Vancouver ends up spending a ton of money while they live there because of the fact that there's just so many things to do. So it's generally very appealing for a younger single individual, and then as they get older, maybe start to think about starting a family or purchasing a property. That's when they generally end up moving out to the suburbs. But again, there is no right answer. Everybody has their own opinion. For some, the sacrifices are worth it, while for others, the appeal of a more affordable and spacious life outside the city is just too strong to ignore. Vancouver still has its charm, but as costs rise and the quality of life declines for many, it's becoming harder to justify staying. The real question is, what matters the most to you? As somebody who personally lives in the suburbs of Greater Vancouver, I can definitely say that it makes more sense to be here. I still go to Vancouver every now and then for events or hockey games or concerts, but I don't feel the need to constantly be there and just be around the busyness of the city. As someone who doesn't necessarily love being in the hustle and bustle all the time, having just started a young family with a young daughter, and wanting to be close enough to access those things but not living within it, this just makes the most sense for me. But that's not to say the same will be for you. And if you're still with me this far into the video and you'd like to continue this conversation, I'd be more than happy to chat with you to find out whether or not the suburbs would make sense for you and your family and which locations could be best for you. All you have to do is scroll down and click the first link in the description to book a call with me at a time that works best for you. And if you'd like to learn a little bit more about some of the suburban cities I mentioned in my video, such as Surrey, Langley, and Maple Ridge, I have tons of other videos going over everything you can think of on my channel, so be sure to check those out. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button so that you'll be the first to know about all the new videos I come out with every single week. Thanks so much for watching, have a fantastic day, and we'll see you in the next video.